What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Level Start Podcast, part of the Play Legit Network, your only source for gaming and real talk. I'm your host, T42. Well, it's another week gone by, and there's more news to be talked about, and dang, did we receive some serious news. Last week, when this episode dropped, there was some serious news that came out, and it's been a week already from the time that you guys are going to be watching this one, that Oculus VR has announced that they're going to be bought by Facebook for $2 billion. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have already heard this news. A lot of you are already aware of this. This is shocking. Like, I had assumed if Oculus was going to get bought, it was going to get bought by Valve, not really considering that this was going to be happening by Facebook. But man alive, this is some crazy stuff. I'm just going to jump out the gate with this one. I mean, a lot of people when this first dropped were a little concerned. They were like, man, I don't want Facebook owning this. Now we're going to have ads in our face. There's going to be all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I don't like Facebook. I don't trust Facebook. Even the guy who develops the game Minecraft almost came out immediately and said he's dropping support for trying to come out with an Oculus version of Minecraft or support for Oculus to play Minecraft. Because he finds that Facebook kind of creeps him out. Now, granted, there are weird concerns about Facebook and their data mining and stuff like that, but let's look at this a little bit more as a whole, thinking all of this through. Granted, I'm not so sure about this purchase myself. However, when you consider all the facts, when you can look at all the things that are in place here, if they are going to keep true to what has been said so far, I think everything's going to be just fine. Oculus is just going to get more money. Now, things that have been said thus far, for those who might not know, is that Zuckerberg said that he wants to leave it as it is. It's still going to be its own independent thing. They're still going to be highly focused and geared towards gaming, but that down the road they're going to look at maybe using it for other applications as well. I've had several conversations ironically on Facebook with a lot of my friends and people in the community that I discuss things with. We have an interesting rant table on our website at playlegit.net about this as well, where it's just what's the point? Is this Facebook's way of trying to stay relevant? Is this Facebook's way of trying to get ahead of the curve, to have something to work with, because they really are kind of not becoming the relevant thing anymore, even though tons of people still use it. It's still a very huge, viable thing for communication. As time goes on, they're going to have to try and do something to keep themselves in the loop. This kind of makes me, when I think about this, and I've seen some other people say this too, and this was one of the first things that I thought of when I saw this was, it kind of reminds me of Google a little bit. They're trying to acquire other assets, other things to help keep themselves moving and flowing and relevant. And so Facebook as a social medium is no longer just a social network. It's going to be, they're going to have other things that they're going to be working with. And for them to be owning Oculus, I think if they continue to leave it as its own entity, to continue to put money into to help support it and get it out there quicker, I think is good. The fact also is that there's not been a single consumer version yet. Makes a lot of people nervous about this whole thing. Like, how could someone drop $2 billion on something that hasn't even had a viable consumer product yet? Now, I've tried the original dev kit. I hear the dev kit 2 is more amazing than the first one. I think it's a great piece of technology, and I think it's going to, at least for PC gamers, for sure, going to revolutionize so much, and I think it's a fantastic product, and I cannot wait to get a consumer version. But man, this is definitely a very interesting development. It's definitely new. Not sure not sure really what to make of the Facebook purchase as a whole, but really the facts on the ground are this: they are just purchasing it. They're not integrating it. They're not dissolving it. They're not like trying to change anything. They just now own it, and that's it. And like they're just going to funnel money into it, and the guys that are working on it are still going to work on it. The other interesting part of this is just not too long after the that announcement, Oculus VR hires the VR expert from Valve, Michael Abrush, as their chief scientist, which I think is pretty interesting. He Abrush previously worked with John Carmack at on Quake, and he's also worked on Windows for Microsoft and software graphics rendering and all this other kind of stuff. I think this is also another interesting thing, considering John Carmack has been involved with this. And I mean, pretty much John Carmack, like if you play video games, especially first-person shooters, you owe a lot of what you do and your entertainment to John Carmack. Now that he's working for Oculus, before all this, I wonder how he honestly truly feels about it now. I think things are still developing. I think there's still smoke to be cleared for people to really see what's going on with this. So as we know more, we'll try and let you guys know more. Moving on, let's talk about a game announcement here. Well, it's already been announced, but we have a release date on a game now. Alien Isolation is to come out October 7th. And, the Alien franchise, as far as video games have been concerned, lately has not been all that great. The Alien Colonial Marine was not one of the better games to come out from like an Alien IP. But this new one, Alien Isolation, from all the people I've seen who've had hands-on, who've tried it, have said this is going to be fantastic. And as a little enjoyment for you guys, I think we should watch the trailer for Alien Isolation. Enjoy.
Peggy 18.
I'm Samuels. I work for the company. It's about your mother. We think we may have found her, Amanda. We get to shut the book. Ripley.
Well, that certainly looks like a lot of fun. Part of the issue that some people were having with this announcement was that it was announced on a Saturday, and that's kind of different for people to announce that kind of information. Moving right along, we have some hardware announcements. Microsoft finalizes Kinect for Windows V2 hardware. The Xbox One Kinect sensor, this is coming from the Escapist magazine, by the way. The Xbox One Kinect sensor is coming to Windows with a few minor tweaks. Microsoft has finally finalized the next version of Kinect for Windows, dubbed the Kinect for Windows V2. It seems to be very similar to the Xbox One, with some aesthetic differences, such as the Xbox One logo is gone, replaced with a simpler power indicator LED and a new Kinect logo on top of the unit. Connectivity for this thing will be handled by USB 3.0 with connections to the Kinect V2 hub to your PC. There's still no word on pricing or availability, but it's more geared towards, from what I've seen, for business and academic institutes, and little crossover with the Xbox One gaming world. I'm not really into the Kinect in general. I had a Kinect on a 360 a couple of years ago. It was all right, I guess. The type of gaming on the Kinect wasn't really for me. I mean, I just don't enjoy it. That's just my personal preference. The fact that this is coming to the PC, I mean, I don't foresee any possible games coming out that I would be needing, or any possible applications for me personally for needing one of these. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this kind of thing? I think the Kinect in general is just one of those pieces of hardware that kind of creeps me out. But whatever. That's just me. More hardware announcements. This came out not too long ago, but the GTX Titan Z. Woo! The GTX Titan Z is NVIDIA's latest and greatest graphics card for $1,000 more than two Titan Blacks. Yes, that is correct. This thing is $3,000. And it has 12 gigs of RAM on this thing. 12 gigs of GDDR5 video memory. Holy cannoli. It has, I believe, 5,760 total CUDA cores. This thing is just going to be incredible. Some people are saying it might be slightly slower, that it might be better to go ahead and get two individual cards, just regular Titans instead of one Titan Z. Sometimes that makes sense, sometimes it doesn't. Essentially, this card it's got two GPUs on it. So yeah, and from what I understand, I could be reading this incorrectly, but they're going to be running at 800 to 850 megahertz compared to the 889 megahertz of a separate single GTX Titan Black. So maybe slightly slower, but who knows? All of it's still way too pricey for me in general. So yeah, I can't say that I'm going to be getting one. Anyway, moving on. Let's move on to some games. Galactic Civilizations 3 Alpha Access will cost $100. Now, what do you guys think about that? To get alpha access to a game, paying a lot of money. Now, I know Planetary Annihilation was like this. When Planetary Annihilation first dropped on Kickstarter, and then eventually it was on Steam as well for the same pricing, it was, I believe, over $100 as well, and that is just nuts. I mean, I know, if you're going to invest in that, they're saying that, people invest in this thing for the long haul. It's not for the average consumer. You're paying to help be a part of the community, and they're like special packaging. But at the same time, it's almost like, I know that we're a part of this from the beginning, but that's a lot of money just to play a game for a short period of time. And, I mean, like, according to this, you get full access to all the DLC that's coming out in the future. But, I mean, what else are you really getting with that? I mean, that's a lot of money just to invest in a game and future DLC. But, what if the total cost of the game and the DLC is less, than what you've paid for? I mean, are you paying for the experience? Because that's weird. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Do you think paying $100 or more for access to an early access game is too much? Do you think it should be priced less? I mean, collector's editions. I mean, I get more out of a collector's edition, for example, because Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls also came out on the same day as the announcement of the Oculus purchase. I bought that, I think, for $80. And I get way more out of that than I do paying $100 or more for early access to something just to help them develop the game. They're saying this is for the more hardcore dedicated fans. I was just like trying to weed out not to get too many people to start playing their early access. Like I'm not so sure I understand the pricing, or if that's just they're wanting to make sure they make money off of this. Whatever. Moving on to other game news. Let's talk about FTL. FTL Advanced Edition will be out April the 3rd, and this is awesome. Subset Games has announced on Twitter that FTL Advanced Edition will release on April 3rd. The new edition of the game will release on iPad for $10 on the same day, but will be offered as a free upgrade to those who already own the original game on PC. Haha. That means me. FTL Advanced Edition adds new ships, weapons, event, and environments. Some of the new additions include a cloning room, which in exchange for your med bay will allow you to create clones of dead crew members at a cost to their skills. Another addition, mind control system, will force enemies to sabotage their own ships. The update will also include new music by composer Ben Prunty. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And new sectors and events written by FTL writer Tom Joubert. And Wasteland 2 scribe Chris Avallone. As you can imagine, we love FTL already. This is coming from PC Gamer. These additions will give us yet another reason to jump back into the cockpit. If you guys have not yet played FTL, it is a fun game. Very entertaining, lots to do. I recently just got my hands on a game that I've had for a while, but I haven't had a chance to play yet, and most of you are like, wow, that's been out for a while, and that is Monaco. I was at a LAN party this last weekend, and a buddy of mine was like, hey, there's 4 of us, we should play this game. Well, I mean, there was more than 4 of us, but there was 4 of us that weren't really doing anything at the time. And he said, well, let's play Monaco together. I think you guys will really like it. And I was like, sure, why not? So we started playing it, but the fun and the laughter did not ensue until much later when we started playing the multiplayer, which, holy moly, that is so much fun. If you guys have yet to have a chance to play the multiplayer of Monaco, where you go versus against each other, that is a lot of fun. I have not been so like engaged and excited about playing a game in such a long time. I mean, of course, I'm playing Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, which I'm definitely engaged in that. But I mean, hyped up, feeling like I'm playing video games as a little kid with all my neighborhood friends, excited, yelling, laughing. It's so much fun. If you guys have yet to have a chance to check out Monaco, please do so, because I think you guys will love it. Alright, well, I think that's going to be our show this week, guys. Be sure to check out our website, playlegit.net. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. You guys can catch me every Tuesday. Another episode drops every Tuesday. But yeah, we've got reviews, videos, all kinds of stuff on our website. So go check us out on playlegit.net. And as always, stay legit, guys. Have fun. Play those games. Let us know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. And yeah, we will see you guys all next week. Take it easy. Peace.